morning, everybody. Alright, it is the 15th of September. We are, well, what time we got here? Right at just after 11 a.m. We are on westbound Interstate 84. We'll let this pick up over. I know his car behind me is probably getting annoyed, but too bad the right lane's ending, so I'm staying here. Now, I was getting ready to pass that pickup, but the right lane's ending, so I figured I'll stay back, let him have space to come over. Alright, we're going to be picking up a load. I don't know what it is, but it's at a place called Gress, Refrigerated. I assume it'll be cheese related, because where it's going to, or dairy or cheese, whatever, something along that line, because it is going to Saputo facility in Florida. So that's what we're up to here. It'll be my first time coming here. We're going to be, this shippers in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We are 13 miles away from the shipper right now. And you see from the map pretty much where we're at. We're going to be taking 84 across over to the west side of Scranton. Then we'll get on southbound US 11. And then there's a street that I can't remember the name of that branches off of 11 off to the right. Follow that down, and then the shipper will be down there. Actually, let me switch over to satellite, because I will want that even for myself when we get over there. Alright. So, looks like we got the 380 and 84 interchange 2 miles from here. Alright, so I guess today's topic, I'm going to deviate a little bit from the trucking, actually a lot from the trucking stuff, but I'll tie in some trucking to it. Because you guys know, a lot of you guys who watch my channel know that I'm a retired Air Force aircraft mechanic. And, and I have aviation maintenance background and know things about airplanes that the average person doesn't. And I guess, I don't know, maybe some of you guys might get some fascination with some of this stuff. Alright, so this morning, I was reading about incidents. I wouldn't really call it an incident, as it was an in-flight event, perhaps. I guess I would just call it. This happened Wednesday. It was a Boeing 777 from United Airlines. It took off from Newark, New Jersey, and was on its way to Rome, Italy. I'm not sure how far it made it out of the area. It couldn't have been that far, though, or I don't know, might have, but it ended up coming back to, turning around and coming back into Newark after it dropped 28,000 feet in 10 minutes. Now, that sounds like, just by at face value there, the news reporting that sounds like that would be like, oh my God, that's like the aircraft did it on its own, out of control or something. But in reality, no, it was not an out of control aircraft. In fact, there was not really any major problem, as it turned out to be with the aircraft, but it did warrant coming back to the, to be as a precaution. They had a very good reason to come back. I'm absolutely 100% on the side of the pilots on that flight for making the decision they made. So what happened there is the aircraft supposedly had a loss of pressurization. That's when you're flying at altitude, at 40,000 feet, the air's too thin for you to breathe up there. It's also too cold as well. Even in summer weather, you can be in 120 plus degree weather in Palm Springs. Fly at that altitude right above Palm Springs, though, and it's going to be like negative 40 to negative 60. So it's some serious stuff there with the cold. But also you can't. There's not much air to breathe either. So you got to pressurize the aircraft. anything above 10,000 feet above sea level, you have to be pressurized or on supplemental oxygen. If the aircraft does not have a pressurized cabin, you have to be basically getting an oxygen supply somehow. Alright, so anyway, the aircraft at least indicated that it was having a pressurization problem. Now, what can happen there, it's if you're not familiar with the term hypoxia, that's the term for when your brain is not getting enough oxygen to it. And that's exactly what happens if you fly at altitude and the aircraft loses pressure. A notable incident involving that was the airplane crash that killed, what was it, Payne Stewart, I think his name was, that professional golfer. They were flying out of Florida, and I think they were supposed to be going to like Dallas or somewhere, I can't remember, but the plane ended up becoming a ghost plane and ended up flying up to like South or North Dakota or something like that before plummeting to the ground and crashing because after running out of fuel. Come on, dude. I'm kind of a sitting duck here anyway, so screw it. Well, anyway, yeah, that sounds serious as it get. Well, anyway, this aircraft, it turned out, didn't actually have a, no, shit, what, yeah, I do need this sign, alright. I'm looking for I-84, not 81, but yeah, I need 81 north. I think 84 ends right here, I think 1 mile from here, and I guess it's actually 81 north that I'm going to get on to get to the west side of Scranton. Anyway, the aircraft though, now how they do this, they push in air that comes from the engines, from the compressor section of the engines, and goes through the pressurization system, and it gets pushed into the cabin. Well, only so much of that air can come into the cabin before it either escapes or it has to be allowed to escape. So you have the right cabin pressure inside for comfortable breathing. They usually set the cabin pressure around 8,000 feet or so when you're in flight. So it's not over pressurizing the aircraft, because the more you pressurize it, the more stress it puts on on all the rivets and other fasteners that hold the skin of the aircraft around the structure. Alright. Right lane ends, quarter mile, 6 miles out, 4 miles from our turn. Okay. But now how this actually is affected, come on car, I'm coming over whether you like it or not, motherfucker. You want to be an asshole, I can be one too. Got another lane there, or you can let me in. Don't be a douchebag. Okay. Alright, so how this happens is they have what's called, usually called an outflow valve on the aircraft. I'm going to show you a picture of a C-130 with they actually call it a safety valve on the C-130 aircraft, but yeah, it's generally called an outflow valve. Following list of trips plane. Alright. So anyway, what happens is that valve opens up. It doesn't open up all the way necessarily. It can, but it usually only opens up just enough to control the amount of air pressure in the cabin. So it maintains whatever cabin pressure the pilots are wanting it to be at. Well, sometimes this valve malfunctions, and maybe it does get stuck in the open position, or maybe partially open or whatever, where you can't get a sufficient pressure at all, or when it pressurizes but not sufficiently, or maybe it doesn't pressurize at all because all the air coming into the aircraft is escaping through that valve. Now I'm going to tie this into trucking, because we have valves on trucks, on semis, that same thing. If it's a moving part, it can and will fail over time. ABS, a brake ABS control valve, those can fail. Actually, on my Peterbilt, I had one go bad on the tractor side of my truck. And a friend of mine had an ABS valve go bad on his trailer that he was pulling somewhere in the East Coast. I can't remember where exactly it was, but I think it was further down, like in Georgia or Tennessee or whatever. But yeah, he became a runaway truck when that happened. So it can actually, well, I mean, thankfully nothing happened in his case, but yeah, the valve can malfunction and cause a serious concern. Now, I think in this case, the aircraft did not actually have a pressurization problem from what I was reading. It sounded more like it was an indication problem. So it was indicating that it had a loss of pressure. But from what it sounded like, the aircraft did not actually have a loss of pressure. It sounded like it was pressurizing adequately. But because now that it's indicating that it's got a problem, it's a major concern, because the plane can still fly, but the only thing is you can't fly it up above 10,000 feet unless you're on supplemental oxygen, and an aircraft doesn't have that much oxygen on board to be able to handle that. All right, 11 south. I'm going to get on to 4/10, a quarter of a mile away. Get zoomed in here. So hypoxia, if you will, it can be kind of like getting sleepy or drunk kind of feeling, which is actually why when you get drunk, that's why you feel the way you do, because the alcohol displaces the oxygen that goes to your brain, and you're not getting enough oxygen in there. So yeah, you'll get dizzy, sleepy, and all that. Yeah, and people have different symptoms by now. This is something that the pilots should have been also watching for. Pilots are trained to identify what their personal, what their own body's hypoxia symptoms are, and how to react to it. They go through training on that, and all right, after this white car, we're good. Okay, we need to get on southbound 11. So, most likely it did not have any symptoms of hypoxia to deal with there, and but as a precaution, they went ahead and turned around and came back down. Now, but they didn't know that they had only an indication problem. They have to treat it like it's potentially, it really is a loss of pressure. This way, I think, yeah, this is southbound 11. Okay, we're a mile and a half away. Let me get zoomed in. Yeah, and then when they lost 28,000 feet of altitude, ramp, truck speed 20, speed limit 50. Okay. Yeah, so what that is that's a commanded descent. I need 307 north. Okay, so yeah, this exit coming right up here. Alright, yeah, so they damn it. Yeah, they get down, they intentionally got the aircraft down from whatever altitude it was at, 40,000 feet or whatever, down to about 10,000 as quickly as they can as per protocol, as a precaution, just in case they really do have a pressurization problem. Fortunately, in this case, so like I said, it was not an actual pressurization problem. It just, worked out better there, but it just kind of This kind of made it seem like it was a more serious concern. And yeah, it was a serious concern, but it doesn't sound like anybody on the aircraft was in as much danger as was perceived to be and needed to be perceived, if that makes any sense. Alright, Philo Street, half a mile away, that's where my onboard is trying to suggest. Get zoomed in there. Yeah, that's probably that diagonal street that you see on my map. I can't see it on my onboard system where the actual turn is at. I just know that it's telling me to turn 0.4 miles away from here on Philo Street. I'm making a left. And looking on my map, that gentle left curve is left turn there is probably the one. That's why I like to have my map view up. I don't like to use GPS because exactly this. I can't see what's going on up ahead now. See, this is telling me to turn somewhere else. It's trying to tell me to turn right here where these this dot line trailer is at. I'm not turning. Well, okay, I see. Wait, how do I? What do you mean do not enter? How do I get into there? Loop Street, I guess? I don't know. It says do not enter. How am I supposed to get onto that street? I guess, yeah, I'll make the left here where the bus is at. I don't know if that's a one, I mean, what if that do not enter, I mean, the wrong way sign is for the street I wanted to go on, or if it was for a different street, but didn't seem right. Yeah, this will definitely work here though. Alright, I'm making a right turn here. Should be able to just come right into the lot, I think right here, and then maybe park here in this gravel lot where these other trucks are at, and then get checked in. Looks like there's a ton of room to back in, that's for sure. Looks should be an easy straight back setup once we do. Park next to drop trailers across from the dock, bring paperwork inside. Okay. Alright, I don't really feel like parking in the mud, so let's park over here next to this drop trailer on the end. Alright, you see I got windows down just in case. Even if it looks like there's nobody around, I'm not going to treat it like there isn't anybody around. Gress trucks, it looks like here. It's well, a few bobtails, but oh, there's one truck in the down there by the end in the dock door. Payne, K-A-N-E. I'm not sure who that company is. Never heard of them. All right, so here we are. We get checked in. Sure, up here in the corner somewhere. Yeah, figure out what to do from here. Alright guys, we are checked in, got a dock door assignment. I'm going to slide tandems all the way back. Already have the pins unlocked, just got to pull forward till there we go. Alright, so doors open, tandems all the way back. I'm going to dock into door 3, which is... let's see, double check that I'm locked into the... Alright, yeah, we're good. Should be just a couple doors over from this Gress refrigerated drop trailer. To check in, right here there on the side there's a door, right where that trash can is on this yellow rail right in front of us. There's a trash can right there on the other end of it. There's a door right next to the trash can. Go in that door, and then you'll see, you'll be in the warehouse there, and then you'll kind of walk over to the left and across whatever, and you'll see this little office thing there, and there'll be a tablet there that you check in at, and the guy will also come up and meet you there and tell you what door to dock into and all that kind of stuff. So it turned out my pickup number, oops, I wasn't too far off. Not exactly perfect, but it'll work. Yeah, so the last 3 digits of my pickup number, I guess, were transposed. He said he had 871 on his side of it, but my information said 781. But shit, I think that might be all right. All right, I'm gonna get my doors open. I think I want my tandems just a little bit more to the right, so I'm going to go forward. Plus I want to change my angle a little bit because I could see it when I got out there to open my doors. I could see it was tracking just a little bit off from where I wanted it. Alright, there we go. Now we should be good. Come on. Gonna creep or not? Trying to be really gentle so I don't ricochet if I don't need to. Oh, that was perfectly timed. It was so gentle I didn't even know that I hit the door. I think I stopped right at the same moment it was getting to the door. We're down good. Alright, got nice, beautiful 69-degree weather here right now, by the way, if you guys haven't seen already. We do have Hurricane Lee coming up, though. Well, it's not, I don't think it's going to make landfall in the U.S., but I know some of the winds associated with it are already hitting the East Coast. Let me see what's going on there now. I was kind of not sure how much moisture is getting hit either. It's, let's take a look at that real quick here. This is not going to be an extremely long video anyway. Yeah, you can see Hurricane Lee coming up. It looks like it's going to hit Nova Scotia and Newfoundland more so than anything. I don't know. Maine might get a piece of it. But over here is Halifax, that's Nova Scotia. And then, I think this... yeah, never mind, that's Prince Edward Island. So I got it mixed up here. I know Newfoundland is up here too. I just forget where. Oh, that's Newfoundland. Because I've been through, right there in Gander. I've been there before when I was in the Air Force. And actually I just posted on Facebook how funny I thought it was that there's a town over here. Where's it at? I know it's over here. Now it doesn't want to show up on here. Might be in the wrong area or something, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Come by chance, I remember seeing that one, so I know I'm in the right area. Might need to zoom in a little bit more. right, yeah, right there. Little town there, right on Trinity Bay, called Dildo. I thought that was hilarious when I saw that. I just happened to be looking up in that area on Google Maps, and then I came across that. I'm like, what the hell? Alright, anyway, though, yeah, so Hurricane Lee, it's only a Category 1 now, but yeah, it was a Category 5 earlier. It's not, I don't really expect it, the winds to be much of an issue on the route down to Florida, and that's actually what I was saying, which I'm going to talk about on the way out of here, okay? So, I have a couple, some different route options to consider. I'll talk about those when we're docking out and out of here. Alright guys, we are ready to go here. It is 12:22 local time. We were not here very long at all, not even an hour, I would say. I can't even remember what time I actually got here, but I was already signing the bills. Not too many, you know, and I have a 12 o'clock appointment time, so out of here quickly. Not very long after my appointment time, and actually the guy was thanking me for showing up early because they were able to get me done fast, and I guess they have another driver they're expecting to show up, and hoping that he shows up early as well. So worked out good here. It's a load of what's that, cream topping or whatever the hell it is. It's pumpkin flavored cream topping, basically. Let me double check. I think yeah, I need to get back on this main road here at the bus just came off of where we're gonna go. I can either go back up to the north and get on Highway 11. So I'm going to go south. I'm going to Plant City, Florida. And, yeah, we'll go this way. Yeah, this is a one-way street from what they were saying. Alright, so the normal route would be basically to work my way down to I-95. Not necessarily through Philadelphia, because there is a U.S. highway that I could also take to get down the 95, but I'm not sure I like this here. There's kind of a blind curve over here. I can't see if there's any traffic. I mean, there's a tree right here that restricts my view, so I can't see if what's coming unless I'm already practically in their lane. But we got traffic coming from the other side anyway, so I can't do anything as long as there's... Alright, looks like I have an opening after a green car goes by. Depending on what I get over here. Yeah, 11 though, it goes through town. No, I can't. See, I have an opening, but I can't use it. I can't, there's a curve and then there's a tree also blocking the curve, so I can't see for shit over here. Alright, looks like we're clear all the way here. I think I would feel more comfortable going up to Highway 11 though, but 11 I would either have to go back up to 81 and then come back down 81 from there, or take 11 through town. It's limited access to an extent, but then once you get into town it looks like it's you know, low speed service street kind of stuff that I don't want to really deal with. And as you see here on the map, because I'm gonna go down to the Petro, which is on the south end of town here. I don't really necessarily need to scale the load because it's only 28,000 pound build weight, and yeah, my load gauge, AZEC company. Yeah, my load gauge is showing like barely 29,000 pounds on it, and I know it's not going to be overweight, but I'm going to go ahead and scale anyway. The nearest scale is that Petro on the south end of Scranton. That's where I'm routed. I'm routed to right now on the map. Yeah, and you'll see here I can take this straight on down. I can get on to what's that, 476, or I think that's 476. And then take 476 down to 81. Alright, but yeah, there's the petrol right there. Now, 95 would be the normal way to go, but I don't really want to deal with the Baltimore, Washington area. Let's see. Give extra space there. So instead of doing that, what my plan is, tentatively, to take 81 all the way down to I-77, down by Whitfield, Virginia, and then take 77 down, basically down through Charlotte, North Carolina, eventually into Columbia, South Carolina, and then get on I-26 there in Columbia, and take 26 down to 95. It seems like it'd be yeah, it'll be a little bit longer route, about 30 or so, I think 35-mile route extra or something along that line, but I won't have to deal with the Baltimore, Washington area, which I really hate dealing with. And given the time of day, it's all but a certainty that I'm going to have Friday afternoon traffic in that area to deal with. So I'd rather not. 81 has its own share of problems to me, but I think 81 will be the lesser of two evils between that and 95. So yeah. But, you know, the downfall though with 81 also is when I take 77 down, there's plenty of mountain activity down there. And then 81 itself in, which state is it? It's not Virginia, it's, or is it Virginia? Might be, yeah, parts of Virginia. There's a chunk of I-81 that has a lower truck speed limit that I'm not a fan of, so pick your poison, but I'd rather deal with lower speed limit and less traffic to deal with, sort of, than that. Alright, we're going to keep going straight ahead. Pennsylvania Turnpike, 2 miles ahead. Alright, perfect. Alright, so that's the plan here, guys. The slow delivers, I think it's Sunday, in Plant City, Florida, which is basically east of Tampa. Kind of in between Tampa and Orlando, closer to Tampa, I would say. Actually, not too far. Damn, to get my speed up there. Not too far from Hirschbach's. What's that yard? They have a drop yard over there. We have one over in Davenport, which isn't a great distance away either, but then Hirschbach has one, a terminal, even closer. Brain farting on the name of the city though, but pretty close to there. Alright, so that's what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and call this one a day, right? You guys see what's going on here. It's pretty simple here after I get on to, after I leave the Petro, 81 all the way down to I-77. Then 77 down to I-26 and 26 down to 95, and then 95 down to Interstate 4 in Florida, in Central Florida, and take that down. Alright, otherwise, thanks for hanging out. I hope I didn't bore you guys with any of the aircraft talk. I was kind of hoping that some of you guys to get some kind of, at least a little bit of fascination with, some of my insight into that world. Alright, y'all have a great day. We'll see you again. We'll see you now in Florida.